Hello! Thank you so much for bringing a big bag of a lot of things for Oakley. Um, I love how he's amputated. I'm assuming he amputated the ears off of the Bluey toy. Um, it was definitely a highlight for today's training. So I wanted to see what he was interested from home. Would he try to steal stuff? What was he interested in playing with? So the Bluey toy was a big hit. So I warmed him up on doing a bunch of play. So can I sit before I get the treat? And then I started going, you know what? Let's see what happens if I chase you. So I purposely chase him around the room and like pretend I'm going to go for it. And then when I'm ready for him to pay attention, I stand up, I ask him for his name, a sit, he drops it, and immediately we go back to play and chase. I wanted to see if I fulfill the need of chase, if I fulfill the need of play, could I get him to switch that pause button on and pause? So right there, I'm purposely trying to go for him, and he's having a blast. But can I also stop, ask him for Oakley sit, and that I want that drop of whatever he has in his mouth. I had some success with this when we warmed up. I'm going to do it again a little bit later with some of the other items. But I think we're onto something here. Now, he wasn't really interested in eating or playing or stealing any of the other items that you brought. So what I did was I pretended like if you were at home, usually we'd throw like a jacket over a chair. So to entice it a little extra more, I put a couple treats in the hood and in the pockets. And eventually I'm gonna start piling more things on there, and treats on there just to get his focus. I'm going to be honest, we failed on some of these things. But that's okay. I want to show you the positives, but also the not so positives, because training isn't always perfect, and the failures teach just as much as our successes do. So this is around where I was asking him I just put the enticements on there. Can he leave it? Can we walk away? Can we have this duration on there? Now, I was able to generally pull him away from it pretty quickly because he had to nuzzle. He had to forage for the treats that I hidden in like the slipper or in the towel. So he never really got them, but he was definitely getting nosy. And when I say leave it is a hard, you don't look for it. You don't get to play with it. You get nothing, nada. And that's what we're going to really reinforce. But I wanted to see if I could get him away from that and play, if I could get him away from that to do other things. And you're going to see in a moment, I'm going to do some skill run-throughs where he has to sit, he has to down, he has to touch, he has to paw. But this is where I was like, okay, we've got a good flow on. Can I put treats right at the edge? Can I make it harder? And the short answer is no. He stole that treat from me. But I was able to protect basically everything else. So this is where it was like, okay, let's try that again, reset, let's do this again. So the repetitions of leave it and repetitions of how can we, make this a game for him, but also at the same time, he understands that he can't get away with it. I have a couple ideas, and I'll send actually an email to you to try some stuff at home before we do our private lesson. And probably I'd like to set up a private lesson next week. But this is where I'm trying to get him to play with me instead of going after the leave it items. Can I get him distracted and get his body in motion? So when he's sitting and focused, he's spot on. But when we're playing, he's like, oh, squirrel, I'm going to go eat that thing. So it's, can I play and be in that hyper state and at the same time have a low running leave it in the background? So we messed with this for a little bit. I have a puzzle ball in the background. He got to play with it as a warm up too. Yep, we stole it again. And I was able to save that last treat, but it was, nope, we're not doing this. And I'm using my body to block him because he does respect that really well. It's just how far away can I get from that item without having to always be in front of it. So this is where we're messing with him. He's such a smart boy, and he's so willing to work. It's just building longevity. And, it's still relatively early on in our trainings together, but I can see where your frustration comes in too, but I can also see where you can't just help but love him, because he's such a sweet lab. It's just getting this duration. So I wanted to show you the good and the bad. Now, there's a clip later on that is later in the day, and I sped it up a little bit so you can see it. But I reset up the chair, and this time it was, can we play high activities of Bluey? So he was fresh from the yard. He was excited to play with the Bluey toy again. We were playing fetch. Can we do the same thing? Now, after a couple rounds of this in the afternoon, I sat down and finally was like, what if I just sit right here and we practice Leave It? And we just keep putting treats in front of your face and treats on the ground. What happens if we're in a calm state? Can I just keep pushing your boundaries? So that's what we work on right here. And really what I look for the Leave It and for this command is he has to give me eye contact. He has to be in a settled, I'm focused on you, without any whining, without any pause. What can I do in this moment? Because he's always like pushy, asking for what's the next best thing. And I wanted him to really just take a breath and settle, and I don't have to always worry about it. Funny note, he really likes to put his paw on your hand or on your legs. I don't know if you guys deal with this at home, but he was very like, let me hold your hand while we do this. But we had a lot more success with a calmer state, which makes sense. But he definitely was active during this part. But today was a really good day. Thank you so much for bringing the stuff from home. It really helped me get a different focus from him and a different engagement from him. I will send you an email with some items about Leave It and a couple things to try at home. And then I would say in the next week or so, let's plan on scheduling our private lesson. Hope you guys are doing well and enjoy the rest of the video.